Yeah. Anyway, I'm just advocating for people to go out and march. Me and my friend are going out to march next weekend. It would be nice to be supported by my brothers. So
Mandem.
yeah,
Mandem, sure.
Mandem, damn sure.
Yeah, we're all dying. We're all going to end up 6 feet under in some sort of way, but like, that's not the way to go out. That's the problem. And it was targeted.
Yeah, targeted, planned.
But not all of them happened in Airbnb, no?
Not all of them.
Not all. Some in homes, some, on the street.
It's a very scary thing for women. Like, it's a very scary time for me personally. Like, I'm even like, you just lose trust. You know?
No, I hear you, and I think it's one of those things where even for a guy who's receiving that information, I mean, like I was telling you, the 5 spaces I've been in today, that topic has come up. Yeah. Now, as a guy, for example, if let's say a lady has brought it up, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who brings it up, but if let's say a lady brings it up, I mean, what has been clearly spelled out is that fear is there. Yeah, there's a fear that women are going through. So me as a guy, I can't start saying, no, don't worry. You can't. It's not the chance for you to start saying, no, those things have happened over there, or you start tapping your chest saying, I'm not that guy who will do that to you. Like, that doesn't matter. It's the fear is alive. Even when I leave that space, the fear is still there. So it's maybe finding out what informs the fear. How does it look like for this person? Then I realize that reassurance is not enough. Even if it's like, I'm here, I'll do what I can to not necessarily protect you, but like, I'm here to support you, but it's not enough. Like, more needs to be done. So this more, I think, is what we now need to figure out. The match is just one day. Yeah, it's important to do, definitely. But as I'm looking post-match as well, like, what can be done? Because the cases are still going. What we're looking for is a reduction to 0.
Yeah.
It should not even be at a reduction to 2 or 3 in 3 months. It should be to 0. It should not exist. But now, for example, like, I think I've not really liked is the reaction from the government. It's a knee-jerk reaction, as usual, that they usually, in these sort of matters that have public outcry. Another thing is even the few mitigation measures that they've come up with, it's still not enough. And then another thing is, I've seen some content creators still trying to say, women, you should be careful. Women, you should. So I'm like, okay, sawa, women, whatever. But dudes, who are the ones committing the crime? It's the guys. So what are we saying that we are going to do? What are we boldly saying? What I want you as a content creator to put up a video telling the men, not just me, but even the guys behind the camera, saying, hey, wanaume, you guys, you need to do this.
I saw something and I want to talk about it, yeah? Because this shit for me, it breaks my heart. The world is a very scary place for me as a woman.
Yeah.
I already I have to put in some effort to just have a life that just has the appearance of normal. Right? Because a lot of things are constantly trying to come at me.
Yes.
Things happen. There'll always be something for human beings, right?
Yes.
For me as a woman, I feel it's more amplified for me. If you have to discuss specifics about somebody or a situation and like outside of like the collective idea that it carries, right? And if you have to like separate the women and the men, you're talking about human rights at this point. Yeah. It is not what is good for a woman and what is good for a man.
Yeah.
It is human rights that
rights.
you're talking about. Yeah. So I know the weight that this conversation carries, and I know the arguments that come out of it.
Yeah.
And I've sat in conversations with people about this. I've sat on both sides at some point, on one side at some point, informed or not informed. You know, like we're dying, man. We're dying at a rate that is not normal, you know.
Yeah.
And you can't even, you know, like it's making me really emotional because even being outside of my house is a risk for me.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
From the guy who opens my gate to the guy who is at the kiosk, to me even coming here and talking to the Wuchi, everything is a risk for me at this point, yeah? Because yesterday I was telling you I was in an office.
Yes.
And someone made a joke about that femicide shit.
Yeah. You just didn't tell me this.
Yeah,
You told
it's
me
just
I
like,
shouldn't
now
know.
we're going to stop doing this thing. Right? So it means it's something that you don't look at as something.
You don't look at it as a problem.
It's annoying. It's really annoying, the conversations that people are having about this. Like, just be fucking responsible. If you don't have an opinion, shut the fuck up. Right? The things that are happening, whether you accept they are right or wrong or whatever judgment you want to give to it, whatever you want to say about it, the things that are happening, and there's loss that is being experienced.
Yeah.
If there's loss being experienced, humanity is experiencing the loss, not just women, not just men, not just mothers, not just children. There's a war happening in wherever the fuck it's happening. Where is it? Palestine.
Yeah, Palestine
Right?
and Israel, yeah.
Yeah, those people have been dying for 100 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us, our people are dying what? 17, one a day
one a
actually.
day,
That's
yeah.
our track
On average,
record.
our track record,
And we
yeah.
want to do fuck all about it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not buying that shit. Like, I'm not listening to any other argument about that. It is wrong. There's no justification for those deaths. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Everyone is allowed, like women are allowed to want or desire that kind of experience with a man. Like, we're not
Fact.
wrong for going to those places, right?
Fact. Yeah.
You're wrong for killing us, man.
That's it.
You're wrong for killing us.
That's it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is
That's
where
it.
it becomes a negative, you know?
Yeah. Address that.
But if you talk about like how we dress, how we do, like, we're bored.
It's the same old
boring,
shit.
You know? Anyway, like, can we have a break, please? I'm over this topic.
No, I hear you.
This episode has been brought to you by Istiqbal. With over 60 years of manufacturing premium sofa sets, Istiqbal is the right furniture store in Nairobi for your furniture needs. Visit their showrooms on Mombasa Road and Westside Mall Nakuru and shop the best living selections.
It's a sensitive topic, and I think also more so it will be more sensitive to women, especially.
It's real life. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you see, this is a thing that is now exposing where most of men are versus where women are. You get most of these opinions are just showing, okay, where men are. Like there are certain men or there's a group of men who feel like, fuck all. You get it? Yeah, it's a new, I don't know if it's a new world order, but for me, when I look at it, it's like an incident that has exposed the loophole that has been in existence for a long time. You get it?
Yeah.
So sometimes when we want to address the problem, we also want to go back and address everything. There's issues everywhere. Men will say, "Oh, women want you need to dress up." Actually, most of men won't feel remorse. You get it? They won't feel remorse. Why? Because maybe they feel like there's prostitution going on. You get it? You have no right to judge however somebody is making money. You get it? But you see, sometimes there are guys who will sit down and they'll be the devil's advocate and they'll be saying, okay, cool. If you're going there, it's whose responsibility to make sure you're going with who and who's regulating this whole business. You get it? So it's a whole thing happening that is exposing all the issues that need to be sorted out.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Airbnb in itself. there is no way that it's regulated and created in a way where there's safety prioritized. You get it? If I book an Airbnb, I'm going to pick a key somewhere. You get it? You get it? If I'm the one booking Airbnb, it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be the one going into that Airbnb. You get what I mean? It's a business opportunity. So for me, you've booked. I don't care if you end up to be. If you tell your buddy to go there, it doesn't matter. Like there's so many loopholes in the business aspect, the society, the morals, and so on and so forth. And people are just taking advantage of it. Like, for example, people who are intentionally like doing these planned dates, that they look at it and like, okay, there's a loophole here.
And we're going to take advantage
We're going to take advantage of it. And sometimes we are so messed up as a society. Like sometimes when something happens once, twice, 3 times, it actually motivates people to be like, now this is a thing. There are people who they've thought about it, but they never planned to action or to do something about it. But once they see the media, there's actually, if you do research, the more media reports about it, it also to some level encourages those who just thought about it. They never put a date to it in terms of this is something I can do. They feel encouraged.
Yes.
You get it? So there's so much happening. There's so much happening. And I feel like also...
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Go on.
I always try not to like generalize things, especially like because now we're having a conversation between the 3 of us.
Yes.
The mantle is handed to you, like give a solution to this situation. The loopholes exist everywhere. There's no situation that has no loopholes.
Yeah.
Everything will have a loophole. It can be exploited in all forms and shapes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
This is beyond an issue of socialization, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not poor socialization. It's not that people who are socialized poorly that they're doing this thing. Yeah, because bad behavior can be changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can.
Right?
It can be changed.
It can be changed. You can be rehabilitated.
Yes.
So this is not bad behavior at this point. Right? Coming into the conversation when the thing has been happening.
Yeah.
Right? It feels a little late to this thing. Yeah? You're coming now because it's amplified.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe you should say something about it.
Yes.
Right? It's okay. We know like you guys love us. We know you guys care about us. Me, I'm just asking, like, what do you think can be, you personally, yeah? How can you, in the environment that you live in, yeah, how can you inform, how can you educate, how can you participate in ensuring that safer environments are created for the women you live with, the women you interact with, and the women of the world? How can you as Bill and Edgar, as the individuals who sit on this platform, create safer environments? Now that you know that the environments are unsafe for us, yes, we know that we have that responsibility to also take care of our safety. We are not oblivious to it.
Yeah.
Yeah? The mic is yours.
You see now there is no one specific answer or 1 or 2, 3 solutions to solve everything. You get what I mean? There is so much involved. There is the society. There is the business aspect of it.
This is what you do, Bill. You inform yourself.
Okay, you see, that's what I'm saying. I can tell you, you know what? Me as Bill, Kasanda, and Jamlek, we've done our part. Because this incident does not involve us. How would you challenge that?
Of course, it doesn't involve you because you didn't do it. Yeah?
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I can stand up and say, you know what? Me as Kasanda, I've created a perfect environment for women I've interacted with. How are you going to challenge that?
No, so she's asking is, how have you done it?
How
have you created that environment?
That's what I'm saying.
You're with?
It's not something that I can
describe a perfect environment.
I can just say, you know what?
Just say it then.
I can say in my environment, first, I've not committed homicide. That's a responsibility I've taken up. You get it? Okay. You know, I've been in those Airbnb with so many women before, but I've not hurt them. And I can go back and bring those women that I've been with and allow you to have a conversation with them. And they'll give you the experience. Hey, you know what? I was with this guy. We never argued. We were there. We banged. We exchanged the money that we were supposed to exchange, and we went separate ways. I can say that's my responsibility. You get what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this thing is not, there is no one thing that you can say, this is the solution.
Okay.
Like, it's so many things.
It
piled
can
up
never
to-
be. That's what I'm saying. It can never be a one-fits-all solution. That is not what I'm saying. It's not a one-fits-all solution. It'll never be that, because the situations and the circumstances will forever be different, and they're evolving
My own-
Yeah.
as we go, right?
I'll give you a generalized way I think I would do it.
Okay.
One is, for example, I was at the barber shop today.
Yes.
I interacted with the barber, and then the lady who washes now like my head and my beard. With the barber, there was the aspect of the conversation came up, however it came up, and then there was the part where someone mentioned the part to do with women, maybe what was it? Wanawake wamezoeshwa. Wanawake, this thing for women going for money. Okay? So sawa. So the challenge now first came, which was, the challenge I posed was, it was through a question. Is it bad for a woman to go for money? Number two, as she's going for money, who is giving her money? It's a guy. Okay? Now we explore. So what I did is I opened the conversation. And what I said was, me and you are talking. However, we'll talk. It could be DM, it could be on WhatsApp. So I'll give an ideal situation, which is me and you interacting. And and throughout our whole interaction, you're feeling safe. You're feeling okay. You're interested. The interest is mutual between the two of us. It's reciprocal through our text. So we're like, you know what? Let's take it to an Airbnb. And this one doesn't even involve me having to give you money. It's just we're attracted to each other. We want to do a thing.
Yeah.
So where are we going to do this thing? Airbnb.
Yeah.
Cool. So I do whatever booking I do. Okay. And I confirm the booking. I share everything with you. This is where we're going. House number, this, whatever. Get the key. We meet. We go.
Yeah.
Then let's say when we are at the Airbnb chilling,
Yeah.
and at some point during the interaction, you change your mind for whatever reason. Let's say even the reason has nothing to do with me. I didn't do a thing. I didn't say a thing, but
You being the lady.
Ninah just had thought about. Pardon?
You when you say you change your mind, you're saying
Her,
the lady.
saying
Okay,
her.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Ninah changes her mind.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's like, I don't think I want to do this. Not necessarily saying she wants to leave the apartment or whatever. She's just like, I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah.
So then I told the guy, okay, so Ninah has said that. Then what next? Why are men getting, because now what tends to happen is a man starts getting annoyed. Now, let's say money was exchanged or was about to, let's say money was exchanged from a previous date we had where I spent, let's say 10, 20,000 on you. Why is the man getting upset? Because he had the word no. Because he had the word, or he had Ninah say, Edgar had Ninah say, I not just now, or I don't want to do it. I've changed my mind. Tell me where the link is between no and death and being killed. In fact, I told them now, let's just get it right. There's no link. The education now that came in was, for me, if you're going to go that direction of you want to, let's say, exchange money, it should be money you should be willing to lose. If let's say that's the direction you want to take, it should be money you should be willing to lose. Whereby it's like any. I mean, it's either like you borrowing money from me and you'll promise me that you'll pay me back, and then you don't pay me.
You are talking about it like an ideal. It's never ideal situation for everyone.
No, I was just answering there, part 4, like a way I did it today.
Yes.
But we explored money not being exchanged. We explored money being exchanged. But what I got to was, let's say the word no was brought into that situation.
Yeah.
Where is the link between no and death? Now, as she said, the variables always change. and that is true. It'll always be a thing. They'll always change. Yeah, it's not a one. She doesn't know my background. Let's say we are strangers to one another. She doesn't know where I'm coming from and what I've gone through and what I'm bringing. That energy.
Let me say something. Yeah,
shit happens.
Participation requires a minimum of 2 people.
Yes.
If it's just you out there trying to ask someone to do some shit, just not.
Yes.
Do not proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, the more the merrier, I guess.
yes,
right.
yes.
The more the merrier. But minimum
2 people.
2 people.
Yes.
That is one way you stay informed, right? If your partner is not willing, the partner is not willing. For whatever reason, you can discuss it, or otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, that's up to you guys to decide. Yeah, but minimum of 2 people. That's the standard. That's how you carry responsibility out there. Yeah, that's how coercion happens. I think my first podcast here was about that actually, right? How like violence does not have to be physical. Even you taking the choice out of the ability of someone to choose what they want in that experience is still a violation of that person.
Yeah, it's the thing of taking away. Yeah.
Let people choose what they want.
Yeah.
But
And even if you're not okay with it, even if you didn't, even if it's not what you thought you would get or receive.
See, when you say the ability of somebody to choose, like for example, if I'm the guy who has showed up, I've paid for the Airbnb, I've already chosen. I want the thing. You get it? That's a choice. You get it? So when you get there and you say, okay, I'm not in the mood. You get it?
Yeah.
You're saying there need to be ability to choose. You already convinced me. You
coerce.
Yes? Sorry?
If you coerce after your partner has said
No.
that they're not interested in that moment,
It's a violation.
it is. You're manipulating the choice that she has.
But you see, these are the type of people. If somebody is willing to go as far as committing murder, you know, this coercion thing, Nini doesn't. What I'm trying to say is prostitution has been there even before 2024.
Yes.
That's true. You get it?
Yes.
Is it a regulated business?
It is not.
It is not.
For what reason?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not regulated as of now.
Yeah, but the reason.
But the reason.
What's the reason?
You see,
Why
if you're
do
going
you
to
think it's
use
not
that as part of your point of view, why has prostitution not been legalized at this point in this country? Why?
Yeah, why?
That's what I'm asking. Why?
Okay,
Why?
please inform me. Why? Yeah, I think it's because we've
It's
not...
accepted by the culture.
Sorry?
The grander culture is still
No,
reserved.
the culture has already accepted it.
Our general culture is like we're a Christian nation.
Yes.
No,
So
but
it's
the
still
culture-
reserved.
the culture has
So our
already
moral
accepted
compass is informed by religion,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
right? So that's
true.
what we follow.
Keep going.
Mungu,
Yes.
nguvu yetu, blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's informed by the religion, which is Christianity, which is the
Yes.
majority religion.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
Prostitution does not work
With the religion,
with the
Christianity.
religion.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
The
Yes.
need to legalize prostitution is not because it is not a social deviance.
Yes.
That is not why they're not legalizing it. Yeah. It has political issues attached to it.
Yes.
Issues of socialization
Yes.
in terms of like how policies administered.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What the legalization wants or needs
Yes.
informs legalization is that sex work is work.
Yes.
Right? And people should be paid fair wage.
Keep going.
And people should be paid fair wage.
Yes, yes.
That is what legalization should be.
Yes.
Right? But you see, when you just argue it's not legal because it's been there, you're arguing from a social point of view. Right? Because you're introducing the concept as prostitution has always been there, people have always been paid for sex. Right?
Yes.
I mean,
No,
correct me if I'm
yes,
wrong.
yes.
Right?
People have
so
always-
that's from a social point of view.
Yes.
Yeah. So you cannot introduce the political side of it of legalization, yet legalization does not identify with
From a
the social component of it because nobody wants to pay to do that because based off our moral compass, which is Christian, you should not be paying for sex because sex is for married people.
Yes.
No, you're confusing me. Whatever I wanted to say.
Me, I got you.
Whatever I wanted. No, she's
That's
confusing.
a lot of bullshit.
Whatever I wanted to say is very simple. I was just saying that prostitution has been there before.
Yeah.
You get
Yes.
it?
Agreed.
And there are so many people who have partaken into this thing. You get it? In the past, we've never had incidences where we've had so many deaths from this thing. You get it? If it's the prostitution thing or something of the sort. So,
Guys, Something is not working well.
Just do it.
You get it?
Just do it.
So the point I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
prostitution is not the issue. This thing has been there before.
Okay.
The issue is the people who are looking at it and taking advantage of it. You get it? The people who have just sat, you get what I mean?
Okay.
Let me ask you,
I get
so
what
that
you're
I'm
saying.
clear.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. Really.
Thank you so much.
I've understood. Now I've understood. I've understood what you're saying.
Get it?
I've understood what you're saying.
Let me ask you. Now I'm going to lose my train of thought. Can we go back to what this conversation is about?
Yes.
So that we're
Okay.
we go back home.
Okay.
Tumeingia kwa kichaka kidogo.
It's okay. Take us back.
It happens, but just
Yeah.
direct us.
Take us back.
Me, my outcry is for I'd appreciate if there were more male voices in this conversation,
Thank you.
right? That is what I would. In fact, that is what I would have said instead of everything that
Put the
I
mic
just
next to
said
you, though.
here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
My only problem with that is, you remember when you delivered that at the first instance, it was very emotional. Sometimes when you guys deliver news or information like that, it frightens us. You get it?
Did it frighten you?
It frightened me for a second. I was like, fuck, even if I say I'm not going to partake in this work, I feel like I'm the villain. You get it? You're making
Really?
it, yes.
It happens,
You're making
it
you're
happens.
making
I'll
it
affirm it
you're
happens.
making it look like if you don't partake, if
It's
you
not-
Can
don't
it's not wrong.
can you say it made you feel like
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You
not
get it?
me making it feel
That's what
like
I'm
No,
saying.
no, you've not done anything wrong.
No, I
that's-
just want to be
yeah.
clear about the language we use.
If Kasanda,
Okay.
if Kasanda
Yes.
has felt threatened, there's a probability that there's a guy out there who might have felt threatened or have felt uncomfortable with how you delivered. You get what I mean? Am I making sense? I'm saying my only concern with if there's any issues to do with
I don't think there's
These
a
two
way to deliver that women are being killed out
and
there
and I also
a different way.
No, you're going back. No, when you say delivering people, women being killed, it makes it look
I feel
so
like
worse.
no. Bill, you've made how I delivered it.
No,
The thing is, we're talking about what is happening, and this is why I was like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
I delivered it how I delivered it.
Yes.
Right? You felt how you felt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are two separate things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The message is the message. Have you understood the message?
I understood the
Yeah.
message, yes.
So the delivery is a non-issue here because the message has been delivered.
It can't be a non-issue
Why?
because if I'm partaking,
Let me just stop you there.
Yeah.
I'll stop you there because of this. The severity of this issue, delivery should not be anywhere in the conversation.
you see,
Why I'm saying that is because, you see, you delivering it however you delivered and me feeling threatened. Okay? For me, I think it's not that big a deal as compared to the fact that there's women who've lost lives. Like they've not been pinched. They've lost lives. They're not coming back. To me, that's a bigger thing. And now, I also have to accept as a man that
Jamlek, no, let me
this
stop. Let me
issue-
stop you there for a second. You're making it look like if I don't go, if I point out the delivery issue, I'm addressing that the fact that the deaths have been committed, it's a non-issue.
No, I don't mean that.
Yes. You see, the fact that people have lost their life, there are even men and women who are affected.
Yes.
The society as a whole has been affected.
Yes.
That's another thing.
Yes.
Let's put it aside for a second.
Okay.
You get it? We keep going back to the deaths. Now I'm saying, now it has happened. Going forward, how do you include everyone to come up with a solution? You get it?
Okay.
You need to involve men.
You need to
involve women.
Yes.
You need to involve everyone.
Yes.
But if you come and say it's a feminist walk, we are going to do this and we need men to come and, you get it? For a second, you're pointing out like it's the gender, the men side that are supposed to only join this. Is this a collective thing or it's a men are supposed to join?
It's collective.
It's not given that all women will be automatically.
No,
it's not given. That's
it's
what I'm saying.
collective, but
Yes.
what I think I'm understanding, and not just from Ninah, but from women at large is that they want more male presence.
It's okay.
Can I give my point of view on the delivery part? Yeah, the delivery is the delivery. Yeah, the delivery will be delivered how it will be delivered, and anyone can deliver it how they
However
understand
How they comprehend
and
the
they
issue.
emote
moment. The
and they
moment.
experience whatever it is the concept is or the thought is.
Yes.
Right? I think it's unfair when you say that I should have delivered it differently because it frightened you. Right? How I delivered it is how I was feeling. How you felt is also how you felt. Both valid.
Yeah.
Both valid.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
An adjustment of one, yeah, to get you to participate, right, is me pacifying how you should receive the information. The information is the information,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
How you receive it is also how you're going to receive it. If it frightened you, well and good, you should probably investigate why it frightened you. Not me. Or the delivery. I should investigate how I delivered it. Right? Not you to tell me how to deliver it and me to tell you how you should have
How you
felt
should
about
receive
it.
Yeah.
Right? That's where my conflict is coming in with like
Okay.
the issue of like how I delivered it frightened you. So now you're not even sure about the match and you felt targeted and villainized for. Now you're like, now I have to go to this match. That was not the point.
To feel like I'm not the villain, I have to show up. You get it?
No.
That's your business though. If you
Yeah.
come and it affirms that you're not the villain,
Well and
right?
good. Yeah.
Right? We just need numbers for this thing
Yeah.
to be had.
We need numbers and we also need a solution going forward.
Yes.
Yes.
Advocacy is part of like getting it to the point where a solution can be given.
So ways
Or
of
can be discussed.
Yeah. So ways of advocacy
Right?
could be the match.
Awareness is taking us to the table where we can actually get
Yeah.
solutions for this.
Yeah. So
Nobody's going to see it without the awareness.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to wake up and be like, oh, this is something that needs to be discussed. It'll only be discussed if it's an issue.
It has to be brought to the table. Yeah, you have to bring it to people's attention.
That it's a thing
That's
that
a
needs
thing that needs to
attention.
be addressed.
Yeah.
So if one way is a match, let's start with a match. If the match leads to whether it's different stakeholders coming together and having a conversation, let them come have a conversation. Then you flesh out thoughts, solutions, perceptions, all these things. But of importance is that it's actually addressed. Like it has the attention towards this matter has to be at the forefront, not at the back.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, for your information, I am for the solution to be found. I was just trying to, sometimes in this podcast, we all tend to be on the same page. You get what I mean? And sometimes I feel like we don't include other people who might not be on the same page. You
Let
get
them
what I
give
mean?
us their comments, then we can discuss them. Because we cannot think for them. Yeah, no, you have to speak with your voice.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why there are three different people here with three different opinions. So I was just trying to be a devil's advocate.
No, I
I'm
saw
like,
that's what you're trying
you get
to
what
do.
I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's what you're trying
It
to
doesn't
do.
mean that I'm against this match. And
I feel like you should be careful about the things you would be devil's advocate to.
why?
Because some things are triggering, right?
Just something to be aware about.
I will not see it as you being an ally if that's a thing, right? That was not my perception as we were trying to navigate this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, anyway.
But also to some level, I kind of feel like if there's a solution to do with society, we need to come up with solutions that will accommodate a big number of people. Yes, big number of people. If there's a way of doing things,
It is not collected by people having, it's you, the three of us having the same voice on something, and then another group, who has then we sit down and have the different conversations.
how do we involve people who have a different voice?
They
from
will
us?
come to us.
They'll
It's
come.
not automatic.
Eddie,
they
you
find
Bill.
Bill.
It's not automatic.
Always telling Eddie something. Listen, like the responsibility you carry in this podcast
Yes.
is for you to speak with a clear voice right? About your thoughts and opinions, right? It's the Naked Ego podcast,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Let people go in their living rooms and think about their naked egos and what they think about the conversations we're
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
You really cannot be the mouthpiece of someone else.
You can be on. You can.
You're
be
your
on.
only mouthpiece,
Yes.
right? That is the mark you leave here. That is the
Yes.
information that they will carry about you in 100 years.
Yes.
Bill said this, and this was the confirmation that we had.
Yes.
Here is the podcast.
Yes.
Bill was this kind of guy. These are the things. You're going to speak for a guy who's going to watch this podcast and troll us for shit, right? Just
Fact.
to troll us.
Fact.
Yeah?
Fact.
You're giving a voice to a troll by being a devil's advocate. If you believe in it, if you believe that there's no... Listen, Bill. If you believe for real, the argument on your end is different from what we are presenting. Right?
Yes.
We can have differing opinions. For me, that's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem for anyone who sits here today. We can have differing... We've had... So we were having a differing opinion about birthdays last year. Celebrating birthdays.
Oh my God, that one! Wow, that one.
Yeah.
That was something.
Right? That was a difference of opinion about something specific to both of us.
Yes.
Right? This one touches on more people. Right?
Yeah, it's
Like-
sensitive.
You're speaking to an audience. Right? People will watch this and this will remain. It will remain. If your thoughts change at some point and you're able to articulate them or you choose to articulate them, this will be used as a reference.
It's okay. I have a question.
Ask.
What do we do about those men who are equating this to women need to dress better? Women need to find better ways of making money. How do we attend to those? We leave them out? What do we do with those
you
people
can't
who
leave
like...
them out. You can't leave them.
You cannot say that this podcast is going to be designed for everyone. People will like it, people will not like it. Yeah?
It's true.
You cannot curate content just because you want to bring a certain group of people on board.
No,
They're either
forget
on board,
about curating content. My question is very clear. Like, what would you want to do? What is the one thing that we are supposed to, like, okay, the choice is there something we can do about this group? Or do we just ignore them and move forward? These are a group of men who...
Okay, so you're asking a general
yes,
question.
It's a general question.
It's a general question. Okay.
For the moment, there are men who are somewhere sitting and saying like, women need to find better ways of making money. Oh, women need to dress better. Like, what do we do about this group? It's forget about
It's a
content.
question that has come just based on the conversation.
Yes.
He just packed his mind. He's
just
like,
like
but let me ask this.
there is
I'd
this
like to
group.
know.
What do you
Like-
think, Edgar?
For the men who say, oh, man. One, the podcast is one avenue of...
What do you mean the podcast?
It's
Give me
one platform to give an opinion. Yeah. And they're like, these men view... They have that perception, that women should find better ways of making money or should protect themselves in a certain way and whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sawa. I don't agree with that. So it's for me to, either through this podcast or when I was at the barbershop today and that comes up, it's to that thing you're talking about, participation. I hear that question, I don't keep quiet. I talk, I respond.
How do
I
you
don't
respond?
I don't need to. Now the thing for me is I'm only in charge of what I'll say. And that's something I'm very clear about. Mine is to do my best to inform and educate. And I'm coming from a place of it's factual. Yes, it's emotional, but what I need standing out the most is information, facts. If they're convinced enough, well and good. If they aren't, it doesn't mean I did a bad job. They just see it the way they see it, and they might. But now there's also the hope where, there's also the hope where, on a parallel side, you have things like the system. The system is tight enough where when someone like this guy either tries to do anything harmful towards a woman, they can be held they can be held responsible, and they'll be now taken and tried accordingly. For me, I'm just saying, like, in a social space, a thing one is not keep quiet, is to talk. How I talk, again, will be the information I give will be based on, facts that I have in hand. I may not like what this guy says, but I don't need to insult him to state my point. Mine is just because, in fact, the moment I start insulting, we're not going to be having a discussion. He also has to defend himself. So mine
Bill
is
is asking,
yeah.
what do we do to the group of people who stand on the other side of whatever it is we claim to believe in to advocate for?
Yes.
That is his question, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
it
my
is.
question. And he hasn't answered me. Yeah. You just...
Educate. In whatever
They're not my
spaces.
target audience.
Whatever spaces you go.
I'm not talking to those people.
Okay.
No, what I meant
this is
what
the
I meant to
thing.
answer you was if let's say those one of the many of those in that group, let's say if I come across them,
Yes.
I will not keep quiet. But I'm not saying now I'm going to hold let's say like a podcast episode
Jamlek,
saying
you're not
I
telling...
want to address.
You see, not keeping quiet is not... It's not telling us anything more than just having a conversation. Not keeping quiet can be something as simple as having a conversation. It can be having an argument or having an exchange.
If
Like
I
what-
have to have a conversation with an adult,
Yes.
Yes. And I forget about the 21-year-olds, an adult, about how women dress. I have no business talking to a man about how women dress, right? Yeah, I don't think it's your business to discuss that. You dress how you want to dress, right? Why is it that you should have an opinion about how me I dress? Yeah, and why is it you can't keep it in your pants because of how I dress?
How you dress, yeah.
What conversation am I having with someone like that?
It's
Right? In my opinion,
in your opinion.
if you're that kind of person, then we are happy to hear what you have to say at the Naked Ego.
Thank you so much. Keep
If you are that person, if Bill, you're that person, we're happy to hear your thoughts and discuss them openly.
Kuja Nakedigo
Yeah.
tuongee.
If you're not that person, I don't think you need to give a voice to someone who is not seated here today. If someone sits on the other side, I'm happy to hear a thought coming from an actor, and I'm willing to have that conversation with them. But it's unfair to put me in a situation where we are introducing a concept that we cannot even investigate. Because why do you think like that? Why do you think that women should dress a certain type of way? As someone who carries that thought, you're not giving me the opportunity to explore that conversation.
But you see, Nina, it's like you're using your environment, whatever, everything that has shaped you as Nina to be the ideal and to be like the benchmark of how people need to behave.
No, Bill.
You're
wrong.
That's what you're saying. You're saying
No,
like
I'm
if it gets
saying-
to a point where you're having a conversation.
I don't care whether your opinion is different, right?
Yes.
I'm not the benchmark. I just know what I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying what I know is right? But I'm
Yes.
saying what I know is important. Yeah?
Yes.
Because it's what me I know.
Yes.
Whether it's by experience, whether it's by knowledge, whether it's by assumption,
Yes.
it's what I know. And it's what I know is true to me.
Okay.
Right? I cannot speak for someone else who has a differing opinion from me. I cannot speak for that person.
Thank you so much. Now my question is, if that person tends to be part of the problem, like now what do we do about... I feel like we still haven't...
What do we do to that person?
No, to that group of people, like they have a different opinion to what we hold or to what we are championing.
We champion our opinion.
And we move on, we ignore them.
Stand for what you believe in.
Ama mnaonaje wase?
Stand for what you believe in.
What do you guys think? I'm curious.
Oh, cool. No, I think the only for me.
Around two.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to take. I just want
No?
to say something short.
No.
It's not. We haven't wrapped up.
You haven't wrapped up.
Yeah, I want to say something short. I worked with a community, an NGO, and I remember back in the days, there are times when we would sit in boardrooms, in offices, and come up with solution for people in, like, for example, Narok in Masai Land. You get it? And then when we used to take those solutions to the ground
Yes.
and apply them,
Yes.
they never worked. You get
Okay.
it? Sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
So it got up to a point where sometimes we came up with the solution in the offices, like this is the concept, this is the solution that we want. But before going to the ground and applying it, we went to the ground and asked, not even asked like verbally asked, like we took time in that field and understand how can we incorporate this solution into that society
in a way that will be impactful
and work. And one of the most common things that really helped is it involved those people being part of the solution.
Stop killing women.
This is the Naked Ego Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you get the point that I'm saying.
That's what I'd tell someone who. Oh, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like,
I get where both of you.
Yeah.
It involves like going to the ground and getting those people to be part of this solution that you've come up with. You get it? Yeah. So sometimes maybe we need to really understand. We need to take time to really understand if this is a common feeling in a majority of men.
Yeah.
Then us doing a feminine work is not going to kill this thing. It might stop, but somewhere along the way, if there's an opportunity and there's a gap somewhere for people to do the same thing, people will do the same thing. You get it? Like, how do we get men themselves to be also involved? You get
What is the solution? What solution do you want to this thing? What solution would be viable that we can sit and agree, okay, fine, this is what we are going to do moving forward?
You've talked about so many things.
Right? Yeah. Whatever it is you're saying, we should be part of the solution, right? What solution could be available, could be discussed amongst all the other available solutions that we'd say, okay, fine, out of the 20 that are available, 5 can be discussed about gender-based violence, so for example, right? It is not a one blanket fits all.
No, it's not.
You can't get into a jar and pick a solution and say, okay, use this one.
Yeah.
Write a prescription. Yeah. This will help you.
Yeah. There has to be a myriad of them.
Stop it. Just stop it, guys. Stop it. We don't have to talk about our dress code. We don't have to talk about like going out with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about us living money. Just stop all that bullshit. If you don't want to fuck around with someone, don't fuck around with them. Yeah. That is the solution.
Go to places where
if you're an evil person, you're an evil person. That is the solution.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Bill, if you get into a situation in an Airbnb, right? You're not going there with the intention of murdering someone. So umesema hivyo saizi, right? But another person is going there with the intention of murdering someone. What am I supposed to tell that person? I offer them a social solution. Go get therapy. No, they are going to murder.
Now,
it's true.
This
Yeah, wait, I'm not talking to you who does not do that.
They've already made up their mind.
They've already made up their mind. That is the problem.
Yeah.
It's
so that's
targeted.
why like that one blanket way of dealing with it can't work for that person.
Yeah.
It can work for you because you're not there, but it can't work for that person.
This is a thing that happens. Now you're aware of it. When you take someone to an Airbnb, these are the concerns that a woman would have. I could be killed out of this experience.
Fanya outro, brother.
Yeah, interesting one. Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
This is the Naked Ego Podcast.
Okay. Yeah, and I think this is the Naked Ego Podcast. Thank you for listening. I've even forgotten the outro, man.
It's okay. Guys, let us know what you think. I'd like...
Comment section.
I like more voices.
Play around with the comment section. And then, of course, like, share, subscribe.